What's up, brothers? Guys, today I am going to be giving y'all my top 5 most busted, overpowered heroes in Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is a third-person 6v6 shooter that just came out a couple days ago, and it is pretty fun. Definitely fun to play with some friends, so if you haven't played it, maybe check it out. Not sponsored, by the way. But I am making this video for you guys to showcase some of these heroes. We are going to look at their abilities and combos, how to play, how to use said character. But yeah, the characters that we are looking at, we are basing it off of a couple of different things. First off is survivability, so how easy it is to live with that character. Second is mobility, because characters in these shooter-based games, if they have high mobility, they're usually pretty busted. Third is we're looking at the damage. Is the character doing damage? Because if they're not doing damage, then you're not killing anybody on the enemy team, and you are probably losing that game. We're also taking into consideration their ultimate abilities, which kind of goes in hand with the damage, because pretty much everybody's ult in this game is pretty busted. Which I kind of like. I like that about the game, because if a character has a dog shit ult, and like, you know, who's gonna want to play that? But everybody's ultimate is pretty powerful, but some characters' ults are stronger. And lastly is carry potential, meaning if you are on a team with nothing but mouth breathers, I'm talking about people that have their feet on the keyboard, you know, or those people that literally just got done working a 12-hour shift and is probably falling asleep in the gaming chair. So carry potential. Can they 1v9 if you have nobody on your team helping you? That being said, there are no tanks on my list. Not that tanks are dog shit or anything. It's just that if you are playing tank, you need a good support on your team. If you are not getting heals on tank, you are going to be completely useless. But without that in mind, I would probably put Groot and like maybe Venom on the list. They wouldn't be like top 1 or 2. They'd probably be like, you know, 6, like 5. They're pretty good, but you do need a support if you're playing tank. And in this game, there are times where you are going to get a team that wants to play 6 damage characters, or like 4 support characters and 2 tanks. You'll see if you play the game. Also, we are looking into how easy the character is to play as well. We're not putting anybody that is like 9-star difficulty to play, because obviously they're going to be good. For example, Spider-Man or Psylocke. Those characters are really good. They do crazy damage, high pick potential, but they are hard as hell to play, so I'm not going to put that on S tier. Like, they are S tier characters if you are an S tier player, but this is just a list for, you know, the mediocre player, the casual player, you know what I'm saying, like me. But without further ado, let's get into number 5 on the list. Alright, for number 5, we have Star-Lord. Star-Lord is one of the damage characters that you can play, and he is super solid. He has high mobility, making him super easy to survive and live on. But you can also use that mobility to chase down kills, get in different positions, flank. And in this case, we died, so we're going to use that mobility to get back to the fight faster, which is another plus. Now, he doesn't have the most damage in the game, but his damage is solid. If you have decent aim on this game, these little pistols that he's using, it can do some serious damage, and at high amounts. Because what you can do is you can unload your clip, flip, and it will instantly reload your pistols, and you can do that twice. So you can let off 120 bullets pretty quickly. And then he also has one damaging ability, the barrage ability that you just saw. It's if you've played Overwatch, it's basically a Reaper ult. It does a AoE damage to everybody that's around you, and it has a decent range on it as well. And you can use your rocket propulsion as well to use that barrage to get in high ground. So you can contest Iron Man, Storm, any character that's flying, Spider-Man. You can kill them easily with Star-Lord. And on top of that, he has one of the strongest ults in the game. It is disgusting. It gives you aimbot if you're looking in their general direction, and it is like a one clip to any squishy. It's absurd. But yeah, let's hop into the practice range, and I'll show you some mechanics that you can use with Star-Lord. Alright, so taking a look at Star-Lord, right? It's pretty simple. He has these little blaster pistols, 40 bullets in the clip. Thing with Star-Lord is that he has long reload speed. So, what they did is when you shoot one mag, you can use your front flip and it'll instantly reload. Also, when you front flip, you have invincibility frames, by the way. So you can't take damage for like maybe half a second, probably not even that long. But yeah, and then you have your rocket propulsion. You can use it to get high ground, chase enemies down. But what I like to do is just toggle it on and off, give you a speed boost. And it saves some fuel as well. And his last ability, of course. What is that shit called? Blaster Barrage. If you played Overwatch, is basically a Reaper ult. Does some pretty insane damage. But you can combine it with your rocket propulsion as well, so you can fly in the air and do it. And that one ability almost does 250 damage, because each of these bots have 250 health. And then last, one of the strongest ults is what makes him so good. But he'll fly into the air, and he'll instantly go into aimbot. And you can use your front flip while you're in the air as well to reload faster. See a lot of people not doing that. But that's pretty much Star-Lord. He's pretty basic, pretty simple, but super, super strong. Now, number 4 on the list, we have my girl Luna Snow. Luna Snow, probably the best support in the game. She has mobility, she can heal herself, she can solo heal your entire team, and she has great mobility for a support as well. And she also has utility. She has a snowball that freezes any enemy that it hits, and it can stop certain ults in the game. For an example, Scarlet Witch ult. Really good at canceling that ult, because Scarlet Witch, she just sits in the air for like 5 minutes and charges up a nuclear bomb that blows everything up, but you can just throw a snowball at her and GG. Luna Snow is S tier because when she goes into this stance right here, I think it's called like Ice Clap or Ice Arts. It's called Ice Arts. What that'll do is she then throws piercing, healing, and damage. Meaning she can heal your entire team at once while damaging the enemies with every attack. It's nuts. Now, with most comps, if you don't run 2 supports, it's probably best to go Luna Snow because she can solo heal the team with ease. Trust me. I had one game where I had like 35,000 healing and I was the only support on the team, and it wasn't even close to us losing. As long as you get a little bit of peel from your teammates, she is completely S tier. Really good support. And I guess first things first, her passive makes her ice skate, gives her movement speed buff, makes her very hard to chase and hit as well. So if your team gets wide, you can just start ice skating around, and what I do is just flick the mouse left and right, and it's pretty hard to hit. And also when you have that movement speed buff, you get super jumps and you can bunny hop permanently. But yeah, that's just some movement tech right there. You can inspire allies, and when you have a snowflake on somebody, they will share healing from whoever you are main healing. So I'll wait for these guys to take some damage. I'll inspire this guy and heal this dude. And on the left, he's getting healed as well. Pretty strong. And then her other ability, throws a snowball, freezes somebody for probably like 3 seconds, I'd say. Maybe like 2.5 seconds. But you can counter ult with that. Really good use of that is with Scarlet Witch when she ults. She's pretty much a sitting duck in the air, right? Takes her like 6 minutes to charge up her nuke. And while she's in the air, I mean, you can just quickly throw a snowballs. No fall off or like no drop off. It's just in an arc. Takes a little second to get there. Some like speed that goes with it. She also has an ability called Ice Art. She goes into the stance. And what this does is pierce healing. And it'll also do piercing damage. This is what makes Luna so busted, is this ability, because she can heal your entire team by also damaging the enemy team, and she does pretty good damage as well. And then of course her ult makes an aura around her, and if there's anyone in this aura, if you're on heal, then they're just not dying. There's just like nothing that can kill it, unless Scarlet Witch ults and like instantly nukes you. But that's about the only thing that can go from that ult. But you can also toggle it to do damage boost as well. And while you're in this, you can't shoot or anything, but you just toggle on and off. But yeah, a good Luna player, they'll toggle periodically. But once again, very simple to play. And as you can see, she does some crazy damage. Because her basic attacks, they're actually shooting 3 projectiles at once. She does some crazy headshot damage. But yeah, that's why she's pretty much S tier. Number 3 on the list, we have Moon Knight. Now, as you can see here, I am literally AFK, and I am just shooting my Ankh that's on the ground, doing crazy amounts of damage. Now, what makes Moon Knight so busted is literally just his left clicks and the way that they interact. If the enemy team is stacked up on top of each other, they're going to ricochet in between everybody, and it builds up your ult so fast and does crazy amounts of damage. Like, as you can see here, just throw the Ankh on the ground, and it's just going to ricochet to any enemy that's in that AoE, and just ricochet around and kill everything, pretty much. So, like, I'm not a good player. Like, my aim is pretty dog, so... but I can hit this Ankh that's standing still. Look, it got a kill. You feel me? And look, again, you don't even have to know how to play the game. Just throw your Ankh at the enemy, and then just start spamming it. What I do, throw the Ankh, and then I right click to throw like the big blade, and then just spam left clicks on it. So, like right here, they're all grouped, Ankh on the wall, and like look how satisfying this is. Just a million hit markers, and look how fast I'm building up my ult. Like, I just used my ult, and I already have 50% of it back in what, like 10 seconds? That's gross, bro. That is disgusting, but then, you know, magic kills me in her ult. It is what it is. But yeah, Moon Knight, you don't have to be a crazy aim player. All you got to know how to do is hit something that is standing still. And, you know, finding good places to place your Ankh. Like I placed that Ankh on the wall. Because a lot of enemies, they're going to see it if it's on the ground. So if you can get it behind them or above them, it is so busted. This character is completely busted. You know, first off, you're throwing your daggers. And what's going to happen is if the enemy team is grouped, and most likely they will be, like every single game, nobody takes positioning. They're all just clamped on top of each other. That's why Moon Knight is so busted right now. And if you hit an enemy, it is going to bounce to any nearby enemy. And he does wild damage. Wild damage. But his other abilities, his left shift is going to grapple. And then while you're grappled in the air, you can hold Q to glide, to float. He also has a double jump that's on a 6-second cooldown. And then you can glide from there. Nothing crazy there. But those abilities, you really want to use those to disengage if you get dove. Because like playing Moon Knight, you're going to want to be probably on high ground. Somewhere way far off the enemy screen so they don't even see you. And what you'll do when you have a good vantage point, you'll just throw your Ankh down, right click, and then just shoot the Ankh and AFK. Literally turn your monitor off and you just kill everything. But what you really want to do with the Ankh is not place it on the ground. Like, say if the enemy team is coming out of this door, you kind of want to put it on above that. And then you see this big AoE around it. If an enemy is in this AoE or coming out of this door, if you shoot this Ankh, they are going to get clapped. They are going to get shredded by that. But yeah, you can have 2 Ankhs at the same time. So if I throw one Ankh, the first one I threw disappears. And it's just busted. Just completely busted. But with his movement, you kind of want to grapple hook, double jump, and then glide. You get maximum height doing this, and then you can glide further away. Reach places that you can never reach before. But lastly, his ult calls down massive fists that just pummel the ground. This ult is dog, alright? This ult is terrible. But if you get a teammate that plays Groot and you combo Groot's ult and Moon Knight's ult, it is disgusting. Because what Groot's ult is going to do is a big AoE on the ground. It's going to rip them into the middle of it, and it's going to ensnare them so they can't move. So then you just call it down on the Groot ult, and it's you can't out heal it. Like, no support can out heal it. Maybe Luna's ult, they'll survive. Maybe. I haven't really seen that yet, but it's a good chance that they won't. But that's all there is to Moon Knight. Pretty much just throw your Ankh somewhere. And just, I mean, it's disgusting. And then it bounces to this one, bounces to this one, and there's someone over here, it'll bounce over there. Like, it's just... Moon Knight is broken, dude. Moon Knight is so broken. But yeah, that's all there is to Moon Knight. Just throw your Ankh somewhere and then just start spamming it AFK. And just, I don't know, go to the bathroom. Put something on your mouse to hold left click down, and you can just like go to the bathroom and get a 5-6 man. But yeah. Now at number 2 on the list, we have my guy Iron Man. My guy. Now Iron Man is S tier because of how versatile the character is. Like, you can play him as a spam character. You can sit all the way in the back of the map and not even play and just start spamming your repulsors at the enemy. Or you can play him as like a flank character, an assassin even. Because Iron Man has one of the craziest burst potentials in the game. When he transforms, uses his micro missiles, and then left clicks, and then uni beams, it does crazy amounts of damage. He can control choke points by spamming his repulsor blast at the choke point, doing splash damage, building up ult charge so fast. And speak of the devil, he has one of the strongest ults in the game. Now, if you don't believe me, let this be an example. Destruction. Maximum Pulse. Is one of the voice lines that you don't want to hear in this game. I mean, Iron Man as a character, he just has everything. Mobility, massive amounts of damage. He can reposition at ease. I mean, he flies. You know what I'm saying? He can fly. And if you combine the team up with Hulk and he starts doing gamma damage with his Unibeam, it is disgusting. But yeah, let's hop into the practice range and I can break down Iron Man a little bit more. And as you can see, I am flying. And if you want to ascend, hold spacebar. If you want to descend, it's left control. But I actually bound my left control to my scroll wheel, so I just hold down my scroll wheel and it goes down. But yeah, his Q can fly, and then you can press it again to stop it. And when you're not transformed, when you're flying, you can do a missile barrage. It's pretty awkward to hit though. I honestly recommend not even doing that ability while you're in regular base form. Now, when you transform, it is a different story. When you transform, you can just do the missile barrage as is, and I mean, just nuked. Just everything is erased. But Iron Man's true damage comes from his Unibeam. Like, if you're playing Iron Man and you're not using the Unibeam, you're not doing it right. You're not maximizing damage. And of course, his ult, Maximum Pulse, fires a nuclear missile from his chest. Big AoE, and it does a lot of damage. Now, it won't one-shot a tank, but it will make them super low. And it's very easy to build up ult charge on Iron Man because of his repulsors. I mean, you can just, like, AFK in the back of the map and then just stand so far back and just spam these. As long as they don't have, like, a Black Widow or something, you're chilling. But really easy to get ult charge on this character. But one thing that you can do is if you're in base form, you do your missile barrage, right? And you instantly transform, your missile barrage gets off cooldown instantly. And that you can do a lot of damage It's just weird lining up the missile barrage, because I'll show you. When you're flying, like say I'm at this distance, you'll want a missile barrage like right before you get to this tree. The missile barrage is going to like shoot out a little bit in front of you, and it's going to get up to the left and to the right. It's like a carpet bomb. So if you're right here, you want a missile barrage right before, I don't know, they shoot out in front of you a little bit. But yeah, if you go into the practice range, you'll get used to it. But yeah, Iron Man, you want to just utilize Unibeam. And when you're in this form, Missile Barrage, because it is disgusting. And the Missile Barrage, they are RNG, doesn't really go to the same place every time. But if you get a good Missile Barrage in that form, oh my god, dude. Like, what I like to do is Missile Barrage, shoot the Repulsor Cannon, and then instantly Unibeam. And so, anything that is in that range is just completely fried. But yeah, that's Iron Man. And the character taking the #1 spot is Iron Fist. For starters, this character just does way too much. Like, I have no business being a martial artist just sitting on a rooftop, like challenging people that are flying and trying to climb walls and stuff, you know? And by no means am I a good Iron Fist. Like, I have like 30 minutes on this character. But like, I am in their back line. Just look how long I am surviving for. I should have died years ago. Now, Iron Fist is one of the hardest characters to play. I know I did say that I wasn't going to add any characters that are hard to play into the list, but Iron Fist has the exception. If you are a good Iron Fist, you can wreak havoc on the enemy team. Not only their gameplay, but also their mental capability, because this shit is so annoying to play versus. It is complete cancer. Now, I'm not gonna lie, me and this Spider-Man is about to have an anime-ass battle, so just check this shit out. Bro thinks that I'm stupid, but I know he's somewhere up here. Look at him. Actual rap. And look, I am contesting Spider-Man in the air, bro. Like, in a 1v1, there's not many people that can duel or out-duel Iron Fist. Like, I'm on this guy's ass. I am on this guy's ass. And then I think here he escapes. He gets away because, he's a web slinger. And then right here, I just say, fuck it, and I just go in. I just go in 1v9. Like, I almost have ult. I'm about to just do some damage. And then I see my boy Spider-Man again. We have some unfinished business, so we're about to stand on that. Pop the ult, and then just start doing stuff. Mainly like left click, jump, left click, and just dropping them. Just throwing massive hands. And then full heal, we're good. Let's get back into it. I mean, is this character not disgusting? It's so busted. And I have nowhere near mastered this character. But let's hop into the practice range and we can take a look at what Iron Fist does. Or I guess try to, because he does too much. I knew I said I wasn't going to pick any hard characters to play on the list, but Iron Fist is just so busted and disgusting. He has to go on the list. He could just completely has to. So, like, first of all, Iron Fist has crazy mobility. Like, with your spacebar, you get 3 jumps. You can wall run, and while you're wall running, your jumps can actually refresh. But if you're in the air, if you can see at the bottom, my jumps they're not coming off cooldown. But if you wall run, they instantly start coming off cooldown. And when you're just free falling. So yeah, crazy mobility. His right click, you can hold it down, and what it'll do is block incoming damage and then transform your stance to make your hands automatic. Makes his hands rated E for everyone. Does crazy damage. And he has another ability with his kick, and what it'll do is pretty much an execute. It'll do more damage depending on how much health the enemy is missing. But there's a couple ways that you can use a kick as well. You don't have to necessarily use it to execute an enemy. Like, depending on the map, you almost want to use it to engage sometimes. Because like, look at the range on it, and then you block, and then you go into the stance, and then you can finish them off with your punches. It was like it's just wild the damage. And his last ability is his meditate.
Time to heal.
This will heal him to full, but if you're already at full HP, it'll give you 50 over shields, over health, and you'll have 300 health. So like, you can meditate before you want to engage just to have 50 more HP.
Another loser to punch.
Because like when you're in there, you're not going to meditate. And if you meditate in the middle of a fight, you're just going to die. You're trolling. You're absolutely trolling. But yeah, that's his last ability in his ult. Just it just buffs everything. It just buffs everything in his kit. Extends his auto attack range, and while you're in that, it will reduce the cooldown of your block even more. And also with your block, if you didn't know, every time you attack, it will lower the cooldown of your block. So you can see, use it 15-second cooldown, and then when I attack stuff, oh, actually, when that ability ends, that's when it starts being able to come off cooldown. Like while you're in that stance, it's not going to lower the cooldown, but when it's over, your punches will then lower the cooldown by like 1 second every time you hit. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. But yeah, in your ult, buffing everything. And while you're in your ult, your block is on a 3-second cooldown. So when you ult, you kind of want to spam that if they're hard focusing you. You're going to block damage, and it's going to give you shield so you can stay in the fight longer and be tanky as all hell. And then somewhere in there, you know, fit in the kick. But yeah, that's why I didn't want to put Iron Fist on the list. He is pretty hard to play, super hard to play. But if you get good with this character, it's just completely abysmal. Like, the enemy team will not be able to do anything. But yeah, that's Iron Fist. He's gross. I don't know, he needs like a rework or something. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, and I will catch y'all in the next one.